Hi everyone, Melissa here from RC King, www.rc-king.co.za, and today we're doing a review. This is James.
And this is Jay. Oh no, okay, so I'm James, this is Melissa, and today the review is of the Tiny 7 Flying Whoop. And the reason it's called the Tiny 7 is because the quadcopter measures 7 centimeters from propeller to propeller. So let's talk about this guy quickly. So in the box, what you're going to be getting is the quadcopter itself. The quadcopter is armed with a camera, a 25 milliwatt transmitter for the video, and everything else that you need to fly. You got 5 batteries. They're 500 milliamps per hour, 30C I think, which is very cool because they have no problem delivering power. You're getting a 5-port smart charger here. So you can charge 1 to 5 batteries, 1 battery or 2 battery or 3 battery or 5 batteries all at once. It has the capability of taking a 2S LiPo, which is very cool, or a 4S LiPo. It's 2 to 4S LiPo, which means you can charge wherever you're going. And then on the other end, for convenience, it's got a USB port as well. So
very convenient.
So charging is not going to be a problem, and power is not going to be a problem. What else we got here?
Okay, so we've got
the propeller spanner, so it helps you remove the propeller from the motor without bending the shaft of the motor. Very useful tool.
Very useful.
And the reason it's useful is not only because of that, but because included is 3 additional sets of propellers. We've got white ones, we've got pink ones, we've got red ones, and we've got
bodies. So it comes with the yellow body, and we get a pink body, a red body, and a white body to match the propellers.
100%. So the bodies are interchangeable, the propellers are interchangeable. I like using a combination of the propellers so that I got a good orientation when I'm flying line of sight. So I like always having the red propellers at the back and the lighter propellers in the front.
And then we've got this pack of goodies.
The pack of goodies. Shall I explain the pack of goodies?
Please do so.
Right, so the pack of goodies are the dampeners that are used to help with vibration dampening, so the board doesn't get vibration from the body. Then you've got a couple of elastics which go onto the motors to keep the wires away from the motors, which is quite cool. And then the last thing they include in this little pack is the little screws. They include 4 of them to replace the screws that are in the body. They're quite small, so it's quite useful being able to have these screws. I think they've almost thought of everything. What else have we got?
And the manual.
So for those of you who watch Melissa's What's in the Box videos, you'll know all about the manual, because I think it's Melissa's favorite part of the video, because maybe she's getting to the end and I don't know, but whatever. So the manual's quite basic. It tells you how to connect the Tiny 7 to your computer. It also gives you all the instructions that you need in order to program the Tiny 7 to your transmitter. So by default, the quadcopter is ready to fly. They've tested the quad thoroughly with those settings. I like a slightly harder feel to my quad, so I adjust the PIDs very little for myself, but out the box it flies incredibly well. And the only programming that you're going to need to do, and I think programming is a bit of a harsh word, the only setting you're going to have to change is telling the quadcopter board what the switches on your transmitter is going to be doing. So for example, it requires an arm switch so that the quadcopter is 100% safe. You pull one of the buttons up on the transmitter, or one of the switches up on the transmitter, and that arms the quadcopter ready for flying. And then you can add additional features as well if you like. So if you want to be able to flip the quad or do things like that, you can program that onto a switch as well, which is pretty easy. And the way that you program that is by downloading the software tool called Betaflight. It's freely available, and you download that application directly into your Chrome browser. So I'm pretty sure most people have Chrome.
Pretty sure. And all of this comes wrapped up in the box, and it's easy to carry wherever you go.
I know all about carrying this quad around, because what I like doing is when I go to Cape Town, which I do quite often for business, I take the quad with, I take my FPV goggles with, and being able to put this all in my bag with my transmitter and those kind of things. I like to take a carry-on, because anybody knows that checking in baggage when you're doing a short haul flight sucks. So I like putting it all in my carry-on, and it all fits in my carry-on. So this is the perfect traveling companion FPV quad if that's what you want it for. Or alternatively, it's incredibly robust, it's incredibly strong. I haven't been able to break mine as yet. So for beginners to intermediate, I think it's pretty good. And of course, the pro guys, we've got the King Kong egg for you guys. But that being said, I still love my Tiny 7.
And another thing that James does with his Tiny 7 is he labels the batteries 1 to 5 so that he can rotate them as he's flying.
That's 100% correct. Thanks for bringing that one up. So I labeled my batteries 1 to 5. I got quickly confused which batteries were charged and which ones weren't and which ones I had used and which ones I hadn't. So labeling the batteries is very useful. So now I just fly my batteries 1 through 5. And there's quite a lot of flying time that you get in that, because each battery is going to get you 4 to 5 minutes of flying time.
So that equates to 25 minutes
so
give or take.
Yeah, 100%. So if you fly heavy, you're probably looking at 4 minutes. If you're flying slightly more relaxed, you're looking at 5 minutes. So you're looking at a total flying time of around 25 minutes with breaks in between. That's a good half an hour's worth of flying. You don't have to wait to cool down the motors, you don't have to wait to cool down the board, you don't have to wait for anything. You can just literally load those batteries into the quad and fly and fly and fly.
Indeed, and it can be flown inside and outside.
Yeah, so this quadcopter was designed as an indoor quad. That being said, it flies outdoors extremely well, and I spent most of my flying time in the garden with my quad.
Yes, which is what we did the other day, and we filmed it.
100%. So let's cut to that now. We turned our front garden into a little bit of an FPV racing track. Let's watch that.
Indeed.
Cool.
And welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. I really hope that you enjoyed watching that outdoor footage. I love flying my quad outdoors. I love flying my quad indoors. Indoors, I've challenged myself a little bit further. I've created myself some indoor race gates. I've used the same material estate agents use for their signage and cut some holes into it and built myself a track out of those race gates. And that just adds another layer of depth into my indoor flying, and I'm really enjoying that.
And in the video you just watched, the going through things and over things, that was so cool.
Yeah, I really love sweeping through those through that course. I have a back garden course, I have a front garden course, and I've even extended my front garden course. When I go behind that dog kennel, I now go through the bushes behind the dog kennel all the way around the back, and that adds just another layer of difficulty to the course, and I really enjoy it.
Indeed.
Cool, so I think that concludes the review of the Tiny 7. We just want to say thank you very much for the support on the shop. It's been amazing. Thank you very much for the reviews. The reviews help us and help future customers and new customers understand the products that we have, help them select the right things, and it's really nice that you guys have a voice and an open forum on our website to do so. So thank you for using that.
And thank you for the support.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that's about it then.
From us at RC King.
Cheers.
Bye.